Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to continue the extension of KPI Green Energy video जो मैंने बनाया था उसका. This is a part 2 of that video, and this video we are going to discuss the two remaining companies from the KP group which are in the listed space basically. So the first one is KP Green Engineering Limited and the other one is KP Energy Limited. Now all these businesses are interrelated और ये ना ओवरलैप्स होते हैं इनके बिजनेस, एक दूसरे को बिजनेस भी इनको एक दूसरे से मिलते हैं. इसलिए आई आई थॉट ऑफ मेकिंग सिंगल वीडियो of these companies. So let's get started. If you remember KPI Green Energy, which I discussed last time, so KPI Green Energy is a leading solar and hybrid sector में वो कंपनी है. तो बेसिकली उनका जो मॉडल था that is independent power producer and captive power consumption. Though they were more into the captive power consumption, which we discussed last time, right? Major part. And then they are trying to make it IPP as 25% and CPP as 75% in order to increase the margin. Now the business of this company also they give order to KP Energy also and KP Green Engineering also. So what KP Green Engineering does, it is basically manufactures the components, actually component for solar and wind energy, like solar and wind lattice structures जो basically backbone जो होता है, then वो engineering structures होता है, crash barriers जो road के side में लगे होते हैं, right, जो highways पे जो side में लगे होते हैं crash barriers, then transmission towers for transmission grid, solar trackers, and many more things. Now, very interesting things about KP Green Engineering in their phone call has come out that I will tell you. This third company, which is KP Energy Limited, it's a leading provider of balance of plant solutions. So we'll look into that. What is balance of plant solutions? And it's basically into the wind energy infrastructure, right? So let's dive right into it. All right. All right. So let's get started with the KP. Let's get started with the KP Green Engineering. So KP Green Engineering का business model जो है ना वो basically simple सा business model है. So they manufacture, as I told you, solar model mounting structures, fixed और जो tilted solar structures होते हैं वो, then windmill lattice towers, transmission line towers, ये सब जो मैंने आपको बताया. So majorly renewables का part है ये. Then they are also adding the new product lines such as heavy engineering for railways, highways, highway का जो मैंने आपको बोला जो क्रैश बैरियर्स होता है वो, then transmission monopolies and all these things. You can open the investor presentation and they have given the nice pictures of all these products, so you can have a look at it. These are all engineering based products and majorly related to the renewable sector, transmission sector, telecommunication, and now they're entering into the railway, highway, and other infrastructure. So, what are the upcoming projects into their kitties that they want? They are the upcoming projects like wind tubular towers for offshore. This is very important because they are exploring the offshore potential in Indian coastal lines. Basically, in they have identified the state of Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, and they're bidding for uh, those projects. Yeah. So the components of green hydrogen storage for the tanks actually जो use the green hydrogen में वो भी ये लोग manufacturing करते हैं, right? And other things. So basically you will understand that it is a kind of majorly renewable sector में जितना भी infrastructure लगता है, these guys they make it engineering infrastructure, they make it, right? So if you understand the revenue split, like 60% of the revenue is coming from this sector, and with 30 to 40 is coming from infrastructure sectors like engineering buildings. So pre-engineering buildings होते हैं, अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे तो kind of this one. This is not a right picture, but if you can see the poles here, the empty pole, it's not a cement building, it's a building made from the iron poles actually. So that is a structure basically. Yeah. So they make it, and other heavy engineering part, which is actually coming from their internal business of KP Group. So they have expansion plans. That is good thing. They are currently based in Gujarat, basically Surat, and they are expanding into the state of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana. These four states, and they I think exported their first order to US also, and they are trying to expand into the Middle East and South Africa too. So that is good thing. They want to expand. So that will of course increase the revenue potential as well as maybe the margins. Now, uh, there are four facilities of this company, Dhabasa, Kural, Por, and the latest one is in Matar. Now, if you look at the first three, their operational capacity is like 1.42 lakhs, right? This is the current operational capacity, and the revenue which they have realized, I think almost 600 crores, is based upon this capacity, which is operational capacity. Remember this point. Now we are going to look into it, this interesting facts. So you need to understand this. Now, trial production, the capacity which is under trial, that means the machines have been installed and everything is in place, and they are just taking the trials, is around 1.68 lakhs metric tons per annum. And they will complete this trial production by the end of Q1, and from Q2 they will start the production of this capacity. Right. So remember this point. And there is an additional capacity of 90,000 metric tons per annum, which is under production. I mean, which is under construction, and it will get completed by the end of FY26. That means by the end of FY26, they will have a total operational capacity of 4 lakhs metric tons per annum. This is interesting point to note. Now, what about this Mutter plant? What is so special about this plant? So they are installing this plant, which is this trial production. If you see, this is for the Mutter plant, and I don't know how to pronounce this Mutter or Matar. So someone from that particular region might pronounce it properly. So इसमें जो टोटल कैपेसिटी आएगा ना, वो यहाँ पे उन्होंने दिया है 2.9 2,94,000 मेट्रिक टन पर एनम का टोटल कैपेसिटी वो लोग बोल रहे आएगा. तो इसमें क्या है ना, ये दिस इज लाइक एशियाज फर्स्ट लार्जेस्ट गैल्वनाइजिंग प्लांट है ये. तो ये जो गैल्वनाइजेशन होता है ना, ये इनके पास धाबासा में भी है. धाबासा जो प्लांट है यहाँ पे एक लाइन है विच डज दिस गैल्वनाइजेशन, बट द कैपेसिटी ऑफ दैट लाइन इज वेरी स्मॉल. नाउ दिस इज वेरी बिगेस्ट कैपेसिटी. व्हाट इज गैल्वनाइजेशन बेसिकली? तो ये लोग आयरन का एक स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाते हैं, सोलार में बनाते हैं, विंड में बनाते हैं, अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में ये लोग आयरन का स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाते हैं, आयरन फ्रॉम आयरन रॉड्स, राइट? सो टू अवॉइड द करोजन of that iron rod, one has to dip that iron rod into the solution of zinc. ठीक है? तो वो जिंक के सॉल्यूशन में डिप करने के लिए यू नीड अ लार्ज केटल बेसिकली. So this is the plant in which the kettle capacity is very large, and they can actually, coat large structures in one go, and therefore that will improve their efficiency of the plant, right? So and the time required to complete the project also get reduced. Therefore this plant is of quite huge significance, right? So I hope you understood this small concept of galvanization, why they're saying that it is Asia's largest galvanization plant. Right. So what they're doing basically, they're doing geographic expansion to expand the business. Then they're also doing the product diversification, which we have seen the new products which they have added into the lines. For example, this category, you can go through this. You can pause the video and go through this. And they're also doing the backward integration. That is the galvanization, right? That's a kind of backward integration. So that will improve their margins. Right. So this is all about the growth drivers and the facilities. Now, if you understand what guidance they have given, so what they are saying is that they will grow here from 60 to 70%. Right. A previous year they have grown at least by 100%. Now they are saying 60 to 70. So this is a reduced growth from the 100% number, but what they're saying that this is a conservative kind of number, and I agree to that, because if you just simply do the calculations here, which I have done here. Now if you look the order book, which is from the two splits, external clients and internal clients. internal clients mean the KP group, which is your KPI Green Energy and KP Energy, right? Both constitutes around 1200 crores of order, right? And the 800 crores of order is coming from the external clients, like other clients like railways and other, clients. And that they wish to complete this 800 crores wala order by September 26. That means, मोटा मोटी, जो current इनका revenue है, which is 695 crores, this 800 crores will straight away add up to that 695 crores. That will around 1400 or 1500 crores. So that will be a jump of around 118% revenue. ये एक सिनारियो है यहाँ पे, राइट? तो ये एक आप सिनारियो याद रखिए, ठीक है? Let's understand the other scenarios. So first scenario, as I told you, around 118% of the jump could be possible if they complete this order really by September 26, right? Now, and then the other order they will complete it by the end of this year. So I don't know why they're conservatively giving the guidance of 60 to 70%. Now, if you look at the capacity, it is 1.42 to 42 lakhs, and they done a revenue of around 695 crores, right? So and now they're guiding for a 60% growth. That is a revenue of 1100 crores in the next year. But this capacity, which is under trial production, is around 1.68 lakhs, and they will complete that capacity by Q2 of FY26. So another 800 crores from that capacity, if that gets operational, will get added into the revenue. So around let's say on an average 1300 to 1500 crores का revenue FY26 में हो सकता है, which could be a growth of 90 to 120%, right? Now, because this 168 lakhs 1.68 lakhs add करेंगे तो 100% capacity utilization तो होगा नहीं. So I'm just assuming that. So थोड़ा सा discount करके you can say that 1300 to 1500 crores ka revenue they can do in FY26 with the additional capacity. So that takes us to the in 90 to 120%. And if they add at the end of FY26 is another 90,000 capacity, so total capacity is 4 lakh metric tons per annum. That brings to an a revenue potential of around 2000 crores, close to 2000 crores. So that is another jump of, so let me put it in the range between 150% to 200%, right? कर सकते हैं ये लोग. तो maybe it will happen that we need to track this. Maybe it will happen that in the coming quarters, maybe in the Q2, Q3, and Q4, they will revise the guidance to upward. Maybe it is possible. ठीक है, it all depends upon this trial production progress and this 90,000 का कितना कैसे ऐड करते हैं, right? It all depends upon that. And now this order book, यहाँ पे जो backlog है, backlog है, ये backlog में addition भी ये लोग they're saying that in the second half more orders come pouring from the internal group. Now, why they're saying that? If you remember the video of KPI Green Energy, if you see here, this IPP order is around 1.2 gigawatts, and this CPP order is around 1.76 gigawatts. So ये लोग order किसको देंगे? ये लोग तो order इसी को देंगे, KP Green Engineering को. And that's what they're saying, right? So it's all interlinked. Now, coming to the last part of this KP Green Engineering, if you look at the valuation part here, now I have considered the three scenarios here. The one is 60% growth, which they are saying. And the other one is the 118% growth, and the last one is 181%. Now, in those three scenarios, if you look at the forward P, it comes out to be 25, 18, and 14, with a PAT margin of 10%, and I have normalized it to the current market cap. While the current PE comes out to be 38, now this forward PE looks to be lucrative between the range of 18 to 25. So, and then the growth potential of more than 60 to 70%. This is a very lucrative piece, right? So, pause this video, understand this calculation, right? And this is I think this is good business. Although they are not growing by right now, they are not suggesting that they will grow by say 100%, but the calculations are speaking otherwise, right? तो आप ये वीडियो इसको पॉज करके देखिए. Now let's discuss about the last company, which is KP Energy, right? So let's understand the business model of KP Energy. So KP Energy का सिंपल है एकदम। ये जो है ये EPCC कंपनी, दैट इज इंजीनियरिंग प्रोक्योरमेंट कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड कमीशनिंग वाला कंपनी है। I think 90% of the business, yes, 90% of the business is coming from this, this segment, this vertical, and minute amount of 3% coming from independent power producer, and operation and maintenance का जो आता है वो around 1% का आता है। So we need to value the company based upon this, इसमें क्या है। तो जैसे ही केपी ग्रीन इंजीनियरिंग इज लाइक वो भी एक काइंड ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में है। तो ये एक इंजीनियरिंग प्रोक्योरमेंट कंस्ट्रक्शन कंपनी, बट ये ईपीसीसी किसके करती है, ये विंड सॉल्यूशंस में करती है। लाइक जो विंड टर्बाइंस होते हैं ना, विंड टर्बाइंस का जो फार्म होता है उसमें जो भी इंजीनियरिंग का सेटअप लगता है। नाउ दिस बीओपी, दैट इज बैलेंस ऑफ प्लांट, मींस व्हाट, everything which is required in the wind farm solution except manufacturing of the wind turbine। ठीक है, विंड टरबाइन और जो ब्लेड्स होते हैं उनका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग छोड़ के जितना भी उसमें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर लगता है, दैट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ये लोग, इट्स अ वन स्टॉप सॉल्यूशन दे विल डेवलप। आई होप दिस इज क्लियर, राइट। So I have written it excluding the wind turbine. So one stop solution provider for balance of, that means balance of plant means what? Excluding the wind turbine. So they do site identification, acquisition of that site, then they evaluate that site, engineering, construction, पावर इवैक्यूएशन भी वो लोग करते हैं, राइट। जो पावर बनता है उसको इवैक्यूएट भी तो करना है, अगर इवैक्यूएशन कैपेसिटी नहीं है तो वो पावर वेस्ट हो जाएगा। दैट्स व्हाई दे, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सो पावर इवैक्यूएशन, then all the approvals, getting approval from the government, and operation and maintenance of that facility is also done by them. So this is an important aspect, right? Okay, so now yeah, so this process takes around 1 to 2 years, and the current order book which they have for this EPCC is around plus minus 2700 crores. Now when they started this quarter, Q4 quarter, uh, they had an order of around 3100 crores. And now they have an order of around 2700 crores. That means they executed around 300 crores of order in the last quarter. I mean Q4. So the installed capacity, if you see here, it is about one gigawatt, and the revenue is around 900 crores. Now what they are guiding is around 60% revenue, which is a revenue potential of around 1440 crores. Now remember this thing. Uh, they will execute this 2700 crores by October 26. Right? That is around 2.2 gigawatts. So we need to track this. This is an important number. Right. Now in IPP, the current portfolio is around 48 megawatt. This is an internal portfolio which constitutes the wind assets and the solar assets basically. And उसमें revenue बहुत छोटा है, 29 crores का, and they want to increase this to 100 megawatts. So 48 से 100 करेंगे ये लोग। ठीक है, दैट इज नॉट एन सिग्निफिकेंट नंबर, बट इसमें इसमें एडवांटेज यही होता है ना आईपीपी में कि आपको एक लॉन्गर पीरियड के लिए कंटिन्यूअस पेमेंट्स आते रहते हैं बेस्ड ऑन द एन्युटी, राइट। सो दैट इज अ स्टेबल रेवेन्यू विच वी हैव सीन इन द केपीआई ग्रीन इन एनर्जी। ठीक है, then the last one is operation and maintenance, which is the operation and maintenance services to the BOP plants, which I've explained in the upper part here। एंड इसमें भी ज्यादा कुछ बोलने जैसा है नहीं, क्योंकि 546 मेगावाट्स का इंस्टॉल कैपेसिटी, अराउंड 1% ऑफ द रेवेन्यू इज कमिंग फ्रॉम दिस सेगमेंट, राइट। सो majorly we are focusing on to this, which is the EPCC model. Now, if you look at the growth drivers here, they're bidding here for additional pipeline of 3.5 gigawatts that we need to track. Then there is a high demand of wind energy, which is absolutely visible from the con call of Suzlon. If you listen to the con call of Suzlon Energy, they are guiding for a growth of 6 against. They are also guiding for 60 to 70% growth. If I'm not wrong, and Suzlon is like number one manufacturer for the wind turbines, right? And behind that is Inox Wind, correct. So if you listen to that also, you'll come to know that there is a high demand because because by 2030, I think 500 gigawatts by renewable as a target है, तो उसमें से wind energy constitutes significant amount of target। And this offshore वाला जो thing है ना, this is an untapped potential। if you read their presentation, they have identified the two states as I was talking, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, and they are evaluating those those spaces, and they are also bidding. This could be an important, boost to the revenues if they, obtain the bid for offshore wind energy plants. And that would be huge. So the expansion of IPP they are doing, which I already told, that is 48 megawatts से 100 megawatt करेंगे by 2027. And OEM का जो O&M का जो revenue है, which is around like 5 crores, उसको वो उसको 6.5 crores जितना करेंगे FY27. So not significant, but so this offshore wind, which is 70 gigawatts opportunity, is very important because it provides round the clock, energy, unlike solar. So this is an important thing to monitor from the company's perspective. Now, if you look at the valuation, this company used to grow at around 97%, and now they are guiding for a growth of 60 to 70%, which is a kind of degrowth in the, but the degrowth ना ये natural है. You can't grow continuously at a higher pace, and वो जो growth है वो taper down होता ही है. ठीक है. So what is the issue with this company is that the order inflows are stagnant since last couple of months. और क्वार्टर्स में ऑर्डर इनफ्लो ज्यादा है नहीं, स्टैग्नेंट है. बट लास्ट जो Q3 Q4 में उन्होंने जो एग्जीक्यूशन किया है ना, वो अच्छा किया है. वो अराउंड 300 crores का एग्जीक्यूशन किया है. And they are expecting that new orders will come by September and October 26. Now it all depends upon this one. If they get order from this offshore, then that will be a boost to the company's revenue, definitely. Now there was a delay from order from NTPC Renewable. अराउंड 464 मेगावाट्स का ऑर्डर था, वो डिले हो गया, राइट. तो दैट वाज वन डिले, व्हाई दे डिडंट बुक द रेवेन्यू. और और ये जो एक और ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल, ये मैंने आपको बोला था कि 2.26 जो ऑर्डर बुक है वो उसको बाय 26 वो कंप्लीट करेंगे. नाउ इफ यू लुक एट द गाइडेंस which is like FY25 में उन्होंने 939 crores किया था, एंड दे वांट टू डू अराउंड 60%, so it comes about 1400 to 1500 crores with a PAT margin of 12%, which I'm just taking it from the last year. They will do a PAT of around 168 crores if it goes all things right. The forward P comes out to be 22. Now current P is 32, which is still a less low PE than the current PE, and the growth potential of 60 to 70%. Now, this is also a lucrative case, but if you have to number, right, KPI Green Energy versus KPI Green Engineering, right, versus KP Energy. So how would you rate? So basically, I would rate KPI Green Energy as my top company from this group, and then KP Green Engineering, and followed by KP Energy. That's how I'm looking at, right. So this is all about this all three companies from the KP group. I hope it has given clarity to you on all these companies, because इनका बहुत ज्यादा मिक्स है. हमको बाहर से लगता है कि ये लोग सब इन रिन्यूएबल्स में है, बट एग्जैक्टली ये लोग ईच कंपनी का जो है ना अलग अलग बाउंड्रीज है, उनके बिजनेस बहुत अलग अलग है. तो वो समझने का समझाने का कोशिश मैंने इस वीडियो में किया है. सो